Why would my mom want me to impersonate my twin? I have an identical twin sister named Jessica. We look so much alike it used to freak people out. As babies, the only way our parents could tell us apart was by marking the bottom of one of our feet. My mom loved having identical twins. She dressed us up the same, made us do everything together, like we were her matching dolls. At first, it didn't bother me. I loved my sister, and it was all I knew. But as we got older, I started realizing how different we really were. Jessica was the outgoing one, into sports, parties, always surrounded by friends. I was introverted, more into art and music, and I preferred my own space. Unfortunately, that difference didn't matter much to our mom. She always sided with Jessica's preferences. If Jessica didn't want to do something, I wasn't allowed to do it either. The only way she'd agree to my hobbies was if I did her homework or chores in exchange. It was exhausting. When our parents divorced, my dad offered to let me move with him to another state. Jessica didn't want to leave her social circle, so she stayed with our mom. Telling them I didn't want to live with them was emotionally wrecking. Jessica accused me of abandoning them, and my mom cried like I'd stabbed her in the back. It nearly broke me, but with therapy and my dad's support, I followed through. And while I carried guilt for a while, I never regretted leaving. It was the first time I felt free to just be myself. I eventually rebuilt my relationship with my mom and Jessica, never as close as before, but it was functional. Jessica got engaged to her boyfriend Steve, and they planned to get married this spring. Then, disaster struck. Jessica was in a car accident. She survived, thankfully, but her face was injured. She's going to need cosmetic surgery, and the recovery won't be done in time for the wedding. She's been devastated, crying constantly, barely holding it together. We've all been trying to comfort her. Then, earlier this week, my mom came to me with a solution. She asked me to pose as Jessica during the ceremony and reception. She wanted me to wear her wedding dress, walk down the aisle, do the first dance, bouquet toss, take the pictures, everything except say the vows. Her plan was that Jessica would just swap back in afterward. I thought she was joking. I wasn't comfortable with it at all, but my mom kept pushing, saying it wasn't a big deal, that we're identical anyway, and it would mean a lot to Jessica. When I asked her why this was even necessary, she finally snapped and said, because Jessica's super ugly now, and we can't have her looking like that in the photos. I was horrified, not just at what she wanted me to do, but how cruel she was being to her own daughter. I told her absolutely not, and that she should never talk about Jessica like that again. She got angry, called me a useless child, and left. After that, I contacted Steve and told him what had happened, though I left out the worst of what mom said. Turns out he and Jessica were already thinking about postponing the wedding. Jessica has been dealing with PTSD from the accident and realized she wasn't emotionally ready to walk down the aisle in 3 weeks. They decided to hold off for now, and I felt so relieved. I offered to help notify guests and support Jessica however I could. For the sake of her mental health, I've decided not to tell her what mom said about using me as a replacement. It would just pour salt on an already gaping wound. She needs healing right now, not more hurt. And whatever else happens, I won't be a stand-in for someone else's life again.